Okay, this is it. Ladies and gentlemen, brace yourselves, be ready, because here it is, the new Vauxhall Vectra. Look, it's got there's a, and then the way the, well, okay, Vauxhall actually say there's 2,500 changes to parts in this car. Small parts, obviously. The headlights, new. Bumpers have actually been revised, and in fact if we follow from the grille back here, this has been changed, bigger wheels have been put in, some of these mouldings have been changed. Actually there's quite a lot. New rear tail lamps as well. In fact, do you remember when the new Astra came out and we all said, oh, it looks a bit like the Vectra? Well, the new Vectra looks a bit like the new Astra, so there's a kind of family thing going on here. But there's one acid test that we have to do, and it starts here, and it's with this. The hook. Basic. Most people are going to spend most of their time in these cars with the jacket hanging up. Of course, Mr. or Mrs. Rep is going to have a much posher jacket than mine. We've got a hook, and eureka, it works. Then there's something else equally, if not even more important. These cars do millions of miles, millions of them, and so we've got to be comfortable. And I'm not. Problem is, they've introduced lumbar support to all of the seats in all of the cars, and there's too much of it. My back's being pushed out, and even though I'm only a little chap, I'm not denying it, the seat squab is very short, so even my little legs come over the edge of it. For anybody who's of substantial height, they're going to be running out of seat well before they run out of leg, if you see what I mean. Mind you, once you've settled in and got as comfortable as you can, you've got to try the thing out on the road. They're going to spend an awful lot of their time there. There's no denying it, Vauxhall are very clever in that they managed to engineer something comfortingly familiar about all their cars. Get into any Vauxhall and you'll feel instantly at home, and the new Vectra is a great example. The controls are generally all in the same sort of layout, so you've got your lights down here on the right, heater controls, just the 3 dials down here on the left. Ergonomically, it all makes quite a lot of sense. On the subject of ergonomics, there is one problem that I certainly have with a car. Maybe that's because I'm not the tallest of individuals, and that's with the positioning of the gear lever. When it's combined with this handy elbow rest, the gear lever is quite a long way back, and I'm kind of changing gear like this. It's not particularly easy, and it doesn't make for slick gear changes. We're told that the steering has been quickened, that the response is now quicker. I don't think that means the rack is a great deal quicker in terms of lock to lock, but it does mean that your input gets to the wheels much more quickly. Having said that, I don't think the information from the wheels comes back to you more quickly. If anything, the controls all do feel rather remote. That includes the throttle and the brakes as well. You do feel that whatever's going on is going on somewhere else. You claim to have made 2,500 changes. It doesn't look like there's 2,500 changes.
That's right, but that's actually not the most important thing, that you can see all the changes. What really is important are the improvements we've made under the skin of the Vectra. And the number one for us clearly is ride and handling. Ride and handling really is an area where we feel we've made great improvements, and now think that we have a car which is great fun to drive, but also comfortable to drive, so therefore satisfies the needs that our customers have.
When you have a car that sells in the kind of volume that Vectra does, and obviously that's why it's important to you because of the number of cars sold, to what extent does that affect the way you make changes to it? Do you eventually, is it a case of if it ain't broke, don't fix it?
It's less that, but what the challenge obviously is, as you say, is you need to make sure that the changes you do make appeal to a lot of people. And these people don't necessarily lead the same lives, therefore don't necessarily have the same requirements to the car. So it's a challenging task for us to redesign the car, but we feel that we've managed to come up with a very, very good solution, and the customers will tell us whether we're right.
It could also be said that just the look of it, it does look a bit more like the new Astra now. This presumably is the new family look for you.
I'm actually surprised that you say that, because I feel that particularly the front that's similar to the Astra, but does not have all the styling cues the Astra has. The most dramatic ones that we've made to the Vectra are actually at the rear end, where we try to make the look, and I think we succeeded in that, more substantial and to give it more presence, but also to give it a bit more of a premium upmarket look.
Wow, it was the drive of my life. It was, well, no, it's not. It's boring, it's bland, but to shout at the Vectra for being boring would be like criticising a math textbook for not being a riveting read. That's not what it sets out to do. A car like this has been honed over millions and millions and millions of miles driven, and so you end up with, well, this. It's not a bad car. The changes that have been made are worthwhile. They might not be the most scintillating of changes, but they're a worthwhile effort. There are problems in that cabin. The seats are too uncomfortable, and they got worse. And that gear change, frankly, became a nightmare after not very long at all. Apart from that, well, it's a Vectra. It's very good at being a Vectra.